Yeah, hi there. Welcome to me. This is Kim Willis, and welcome to my rough and ready makeshift video that I'm recording for you. Just basically telling the story in very brief terms about how I am able to make sales on Facebook or anywhere else for that matter, just by sending interesting messages to people and without spamming them, without being annoying, and often they thank me. Okay, so look, I'm going to show you this very brief. I think I've only got 2 or 3 slides for this little overview here, but it'll give you an idea as to how I'm doing it. Probably more importantly, it'll give you an idea as to the regarding the thinking that underpins the strategy. Now, I've been using Facebook organic or so-called free strategies for more than 4 years now. After kind of resisting it, I not never saw myself as a social media kind of guy. Despite the fact that I've been making money since 2006, social media didn't come into it until 2016, right? So what the heck was I doing between 2006 and 2016? Well, I was running ads, I was doing SEO, I was using YouTube a lot, I was doing all sorts of things to get the traffic, get the leads flowing, okay? And that worked very well for me. It got me out of the rat race. The daily commute got me out of that in 55 days after I started. And I was making fabulous six-figure money as a newbie, pretty well straight off the bat within the first month, that's for sure. So it worked great for many, many years, a long time, but I kept seeing lots and lots of people using social media and becoming kind of rock stars on social media platforms. Well, I didn't want to necessarily become a rock star, but I thought, well, if I don't embrace it, maybe I'm missing out, FOMO, fear of missing out. So finally I bit the bullet, as I said, in 2016. And I started using a very simple posting strategy on my personal profile. I moved away. I had been dabbling with business pages and running a few ads before then, but not much luck, that's for sure. And certainly, unless the ads were running, I wasn't getting any engagement. So I switched over to the personal profile method at that time, started to kind of cultivate people and build up to the point where I was getting a few leads. And indeed, I did get some leads after about 10 days. And I made some sales a couple of weeks later. So I made sales in the first month using these Facebook strategies. They weren't big sales. I only had small lead-in offers that I wanted to promote at that point. But subsequently, some of the people that bought those little info products and small courses and things like that upgraded into something bigger, and 1 or 2 instances something much bigger. Okay, so it was profitable from more or less from the get-go, and then became significantly profitable after that. And no Facebook group. I didn't launch Facebook group for several months. And looking back, I'm just wondering. I still got a Facebook group, but I'm sort of wondering as to whether I need to do it anymore. But all right, so that's a little bit about me. Let me get you into this little slideshow presentation. It's more like a mini lesson, and give you the heads up on how I'm doing things. Well, it's one of the things that I'm doing. Okay, that's kind of me. Overwhelmed, overloaded, desperate. A lot of people I know who are using Facebook, social media platforms, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, etc., and other online methods. They just sort of overloaded with all of the conflicting advice, and just internet marketing in general is way more complicated than just doing offline work. Before, as you know, before the internet was a thing from a marketing point of view, I was just doing offline stuff. I was running ads in the newspaper. I was promoting a seminar. People would come to the seminar. I get to meet them face to face, shake hands with them. We sort of suss each other. We just sort of size each other up in the flesh, for real. and much easier to build trust, much easier to open and build relationships in the offline world. But now, in these crazy COVID times, it's much less viable to do it that way, and probably will remain that way for, I don't know, maybe another year or something like that. So we've got to make this thing work. And fortunately, as I said, I have been making money online since 2006, and I've been traveling since 2013. I've traveled with my family. We're exploring incredibly diverse cultures and so on. It's all part of this bucket list thing. Okay, so I've proven that it can work. I make all of my money online now. All right, sorry about that. Just had an interruption. Anyway, yeah. So that's the situation with most people. I don't know where you are in the overwhelmed, overloaded, desperate stakes, but even if you're doing pretty good, I guess you can identify with those sentiments, at least as they apply to other people. All right, so let's keep going here. Now, the basic strategy is this: warm prospects, hot offer, potent message. Okay, we need warm prospects, not cold prospects. Now, of course, every warm prospect that you or I have consists of a person who was once a stranger. All right? Everyone starts out as strangers. Every friend was a stranger originally, and now they've become a friend. So how do they move from being a mere stranger to a friend, perhaps even a good friend, maybe a lifelong friend? How does that happen? Things in common, synergies, personality synergies, and so on. There's all sorts of reasons for it, isn't there? But what I've found in the marketing arena is that if we can turn cold contacts into warm relationships, everything becomes a whole lot easier. So let's look at Facebook or LinkedIn, one of those platforms. All right, you connect with somebody that you don't know from a bar of soap, and now they're your friend, they're your connection, whatever you want to call it. You can just leave it at that and say, oh, well, this is another Facebook friend, or you can decide to speed things up, because it's all about the warming process as far as I'm concerned. Now, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, well, forget it. They're not your friends anymore, are they? You're not your Facebook friends. I hate that word friends, because they're not friends. It's a freaking lie. But anyway, the fact of the matter is that to make things go faster, we want to be able to elevate people, our new connections, from being just a digital entry on a Facebook page or a LinkedIn page to one where they are engaging with us, and indeed even looking up to us, where they're seeing us as being someone who has something to offer, has value, and as a result, you start to command a little bit of authority. Okay, so we want to warm up our market, and there's all sorts of techniques that you can use. Now, you're probably familiar with some of them, but maybe you're not familiar with others, or if you are, you're not doing them. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, I'm going to share with you some of the ideas or methods that I use, and it has made quite a difference. I don't like cold pitching people. I don't like doing anything like that. If I'm going to send promote an offer to somebody, I'll either do it on my newsfeed or I will do it with Messenger, but only with those people that are within my warm group. Okay, because I know something about those people, and I know if they've got a problem that my offer might help them solve. I know something about them, whereas with strangers you generally don't know much, if anything, about them. Okay, and not only that, if I do send them something like a proposition on Messenger, they won't take offense because I've already got that relationship happening with them. Okay, yeah, so that's critically important in my view. So we start with we've got to have a little pod or circle of contacts that are in our warming group. Okay, and we do everything that we can to bring them closer to us, metaphorically speaking. Okay, because these are the people that we're going to do business with. So when I send 8 little messages on, say, Facebook Messenger, it's not outlandish, it's not crazy, it's not unbelievable that I get 5 or 6 buying something from me, buying something valuable from me. It's not unusual, okay? It's normal because I understand the concept and I apply it diligently. All right, it's only the skeptics, the outsiders, who are still wedded to methods of the past that find it unbelievable that you can do that. Okay, so it starts with your warm list or your warm circle. All right, then you need a hot offer. You need a hot offer. The offer has to be good for sure. But let me tell you something. You could have the best offer in the world, and you're probably still going to find it hard to sell it to people that don't care for you, don't know you from a bar of soap. Okay? So keep going back to the warm thing, don't we? So you've got to have a good offer, price-wise, inclusions-wise, relevance-wise. It has to be absolutely relevant for the person that you're putting the offer in front of. And then finally, the potent message. How do you structure the copy? How do you write the copy, or do a video, I guess? But even if you do a video, you still got to write the framework, haven't you? You've got to get the basic script in place, or the talking points in place. So how do you create this potent message? Well, that's $1 million question, and a lot of people are asking it, and some of them get it answered, others don't. Most don't. But I'm just saying that these are the 3 requirements. Now, I tend to write a longer form piece of content. I can leverage it into social media posts, or I can just send a version of it to my contacts, my warm contacts on Facebook or LinkedIn, that type of thing. All right, so they're the 3 elements that you need to have in place, but everything starts with the one on the left. Now, here's an example of a message that I have sent to a small group of people as a test, and then, in the coming week or weeks, I'll send it to more people. But it worked pretty well. Let's put it that way. There's no doubt about it. It worked pretty well. And I'm not giving you the whole thing. I'm just giving you the idea. The opening sequence is quite important. So it says this: knowing your situation, this is a bit of a wild card, but if I didn't tell you about it now and you found out later from someone else, you might be annoyed that I didn't think of you. Indeed, next week I'll be promoting it publicly on Facebook, etc. So you would have learned about it anyway. But this offer that I'll be promoting next week will not be as good as the one I'm sharing with a few of my clients and friends. That's why I'm telling you now before everyone else learns about it. What is it? It's called the Connect and Convert Mastermind. It's a 6-week group coaching program run by me. It offers an incredible opportunity to get mentored by me for a fraction of the cost of my personal one-on-one coaching program, which is a $12,000 package program. I've structured it so that most people can afford it. I'm limiting the first Connect and Convert Mastermind to less than 20 participants, and on it goes. But you get the idea there. There are some key elements in there. I'm not going to do a full analysis of this piece, but certainly making people feel that they're getting something special, which they have been. That's been a very special offer, making them feel special. So I've got a special offer for special people. All right, so that's the thinking there. All right, okay, and of course we've got the scarcity thing coming in because with this Connect and Convert Mastermind, I am restricting the numbers. I don't want 100 people in there. I want it to be small, intimate, so that I can give people the support that they need. Because most of the results that I've had, most of the results I've had when working with people have come from that personal connection, one-on-one coaching. So what I'm doing with the mastermind is I found a kind of a compromise so that people can get almost the next best thing to one-on-one coaching. So there's a degree of intimacy there and personal help So that's basically it. Now, let's talk about this warm them up thing, which I've been alluding to. This is how I do it. New daily followers. All right, so I want new people coming in, new people, that cold people, okay? Don't know them from a bunch of soap, bar of soap. I'm not going to pitch them. I'm not going to do anything like that with them. I'm just going to expose them to my content. That's about it, okay? But I want to warm them up. That's the thing. So yeah, exposing the content is one thing, but it's not enough. Not anymore. Not anymore. We have to do other things, okay? But it starts with new daily people, new people coming in, and maybe if we've reached our limit, we can remove some dormant people so that to make way for the new people. New blood is what we want. Then I have a basic warming strategy. Now the warming strategy can, look, there are different ways to do it, but certainly I send a welcome message if they don't beat me to it. I normally do it about 3 days after. I don't do it straight away. I'm usually too busy to do it that way, but also there's method in the madness, okay? I just want people to settle down, settle in. Maybe they'll see one or two of my posts in their news feed. That helps. And then I'll just, I'll say hi, howdy, good to connect, something like that. Just something nice, innocuous, open relationship. See if I can get them to engage. That is vitally important because I can't build relationships without engagement. Okay, so and if they don't reply to my message, I'll send them a follow up in a few days, but not aggressive. I might just send them a smiley face, or I might just send them a word like ping, something like that. Surprising how often that follow up message works actually. So that's a basic warming strategy there. That's very basic. Oh, and the other element is that I will comment on a few of their posts. So I might visit their if I don't see them in my news feed, I might visit their personal profile and look for them, a recent post, something that's interesting, something that is comment worthy, and I'll leave a nice comment there. So that helps to ensure that they'll start seeing my content, etc. And it helps to establish or build a small relationship. Okay, and then I might sometimes I'll send the message, the first personal message after I've commented on a couple of their posts. Okay, I've done that for a few days. It just depends. I mix it up a bit. Now another aspect of the basic warming strategy is a Facebook group. Now, like I said, when I first started doing these Facebook organic strategies in 2016, I didn't have a Facebook group that I could put people into. And it didn't matter because I was making money almost from the get-go, and it was fine. Very simple way to do things. But 3 or 4 months after I started using my personal profile, using Messenger properly and intelligently, I did open a Facebook group. And this, in a way, for a time at least, it took things to a higher level, and I made money. That was the first group. With that first group, and I didn't make a lot in the first couple of months. It was small money, but it started to snowball, and by I don't know, say 4 or 5 months later, I was getting many thousands of dollars a month from my Facebook group, and that culminated in I think it was a 20 something $1,000 month. So that was pretty good. Facebook group. Okay. Now, and then I decided to start shifting markets. Before then, I was working with affiliate marketers because that was my background, and I'd done very well as a high-ticket affiliate marketer. Got me out of the rat race. But I wanted to work more with people that are running their own businesses. They're not just selling other people's stuff, right? They're building their own brand and developing their own packages. So that meant I was looking for solopreneurs, including coaches, course creators, consultants, experts, people like that. Okay, and so I started adding those people. I was looking for those people to add as friends. So it was, in a way, I was starting at ground zero again. So it took a while to get the hang of this new market, this new niche, if you like. And but after a time, I set up a group for these sorts of people, these types of people, and then I ran another promotion with that group, and I made money in the very first month, and I think it was about $26,000. I ran a promotion. Basically, it was a webinar rather. It was a webinar, okay? But I already had my warm market, you see, because I had people that I was building relationships with via my personal profile. I had some people in the first group who I thought would be perhaps suitable for the new group, so I brought them across, and so it was easy to have a month like that. People say, "Oh, how can you do that in the first month?" They say that because they don't understand warm marketing. They're just coming from this old style, antiquated, cold marketing perspective. So that's basically it. So the basic warming strategy is, yeah, just commenting on some of their posts, talking to them a little bit on having conversations, the fine art, the long forgotten art of conversations. That's one of the things that I teach people. And perhaps a Facebook group. I don't say it's mandatory. In some respects, they're a pain in the butt, but you know, it could be part of the mix for you. Then we move to the next level. It's the high level. It's what I call the circle of trust strategy, because I know, and you probably know it as well, that if you don't have the know, like, and trust factor working in your favor, it makes it very, very difficult to make money on any platform, right? And even in the offline world. But it's easier in the offline world because you've got that face-to-face aspect. But so what I've done is that I've developed this circle of trust strategy whereby each action step that connection takes in my direction, well, it's one of my action steps, and they saying, yes, I'm interested in that. Okay, they score some trust points. So let's say I'm offering a lead magnet. Okay, well, that might be 3 trust points. All right, that's great. Let's say they join my Facebook group. That's another 2 points, and so on. Let's say I run a challenge, a 5-day challenge or something like that. Okay, that's another few trust points. If it's a paid challenge, because I've run them before as well, I give them more trust points than just a free challenge. All right, so then we have a score thing. Maybe 20 trust points is what we're looking for. We're wanting them to cross that 20 point threshold. Another one is messenger chat groups. I'm one of the few people that are doing it properly. Okay, what I've noticed is that messenger chat groups are more intimate than a Facebook group. Okay, more intimate. So that's another strategy that I use. And at any one time, I've got 2 to 3 chat groups happening. Okay, and it doesn't take much of my time. They kind of run themselves. I'm just more or less the overseer, but maybe 10 minutes a day for each of those chat groups. All right. So there's lots of different things that we can do there. Circle of trust. And then finally, we've got the arc of authority. The arc of authority. Are you the authority in your space? Are you? You're the person that people look up to? Maybe, maybe not. I have people that look up to me and they say, this is the man. Now, not everybody feels that way about me, and I don't care. I really don't care. As long as I've got my group of people who think I'm great, I'm happy. And if I can add a few more to the pot every day or every couple of days, great. Because if they perceive you as an authority figure, it's much more likely that they're going to do business with you. Okay, and it becomes so much easier. Okay, so they've got to trust you on one hand, but it's also good if they see you as being the person, the man, the lady, the one to look up to. All right, so I have this arc of authority strategy. Now, this one is a bit more sophisticated. It's not just about Facebook, because Facebook, as good as it can be, has severe limitations. All right, so for somebody who wants to build something more significant, they want to build a more significant business with more permanence about it, I would suggest that you don't put all your eggs in the one basket. Who knows what will happen in the future? Facebook could get broken up. Who knows? You don't know. I think there's going to be some kind of regulatory action for starters. And who's to say that there's not going to be another platform that comes along that is so powerful that it just sucks the life out of Facebook? You don't know. You don't know. The other thing is, of course, Facebook can shut you down anytime they like. That's the way they are. So, to build authority, I think you've got to also build it, to do it successfully, you've got to do it off of Facebook. So you keep doing your basic things on Facebook, but you look further afield. So if you don't have a website, you set it up, because that is something that you control. It's one of your digital assets. You would have a blog. You do things like that. So this is more advanced and it does take more time, but if you can outsource some of it. But this is about moving you to a higher level. You're not just a little Facebook marketer anymore, coach or whatever it is. You're building something of significance. I guess it depends on your vision, the vision that you have for your business and how many lives you want to impact. But if it was me, I'd be looking to get myself featured on other people's blog posts, other people's blogs, podcasts. They've become very much flavor of the month in recent times. Podcasts, maybe even set up your own podcast, but you don't have to do that in the early stages. Just get yourself interviewed on podcasts and blogs. Don't forget blogs. They're still a big deal. They're still a big deal. Maybe not as hot as they were a few years ago, but there's still lots of blogs that get lots of traffic. They get lots of visitors. All right. What else? Write an article and get it published on a magazine, in some kind of a publication that has a following consisting of your type of people. Okay? So for me, Entrepreneur Magazine is one example. Get yourself published. Get yourself into groups of people, into forums, into masterminds, perhaps on LinkedIn, something like that. And you're given a guest spot. You can talk. You can strut your stuff. You're now looking more like an authority figure. Okay? And all of this will coalesce over time. Even before I started moving in this direction, I was using YouTube to build authority. Yeah, just YouTube. So I had authority building videos on one of my YouTube channels. I have several. And I'd get people reaching out to me and saying, hey, I watched this video on blah, 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 whatever the topic was, and there's something that really resonated. And in fact, I went and watched another 5 of your videos, and each one was as good as the first, and I just felt compelled to reach out and talk to you because I need some help, right? So building authority away from Facebook, because there's a certain amount of frivolity about Facebook, okay? It's not generally considered to be a serious platform, whereas LinkedIn is a serious platform, okay? And not that there aren't niches or spots within Facebook that aren't serious, there are, but overall it doesn't quite fit the bill. So YouTube, okay, people go to YouTube to watch videos, but they also go to YouTube to find out how to solve problems, don't they? How to solve this problem, how to solve that problem, and so on. So if you can tap into that. You can get your video content, starting some of it at least, getting it ranked on YouTube and on, say, Google. If you've got a blog, getting it ranked on Google. So you can do all sorts of things outside of Facebook so that you're not dependent on Facebook, you're not dependent on that #1 social media platform, and because I think it adds more weight. See, on Facebook, everyone's claiming to be a guru. It's ridiculous. And 99% of the time, it's rubbish, it's nonsense. All right? But how does the average person decide who is the real deal and who is not? How do they do that? Makes it hard for them. I'm not denigrating them at all. I feel sorry for them because it's so hard. Particularly, it's become harder in the last year or so since the advent of COVID, because there's just so many people on there now who are claiming that they're making $1 million a month and all this sort of nonsense, okay? So that's basically it. New daily followers, basic warming strategy, circle of trust strategy, and arc of authority strategy. All right, that's it. Now, if you want to learn about any of this stuff, you really want to
go granular and dig deep with this stuff, have a look at my video that I've recorded, which, okay, it's kind of it's a low key promotional video for my Connect and Convert Mastermind, but there's plenty of good value in that video anyway. All right, and I'm sure you'll find it helpful. So if you want to watch that video, just let me know, and I'll be happy to give it to you. All right, this is Kim Willis. Bye for now.